Beloved dreamer, welcome to Dream Pedlery. Tonight, as the soft patter of rain falls gently outside your window, you're invited into a world unlike any other. A place where forgotten dreams lie sleeping, waiting to be found once more. In the ethereal realm of Kalpanon, where the rain sings lullabies and the air hums with ancient magic, the wise and beautiful dream peddler Zarvi rests after a long journey. With her glowing satchel filled with vials of dreams, her pet firefly Lumi whose light never fades, and her majestic phoenix, Uziphir, Zharvee's story unfolds in a land where hope, love, and forgotten wishes are carefully woven back into the world. Together you'll travel through ethereal forests, encounter glowing gardens, and feel the pull of dreams ready to be restored. Let the soft rain guide you, the warmth of Lumi's glow comfort you, and Uziphir's powerful wings carry you through this cozy magical tale, where every forgotten dream holds the key to something wonderful. So close your eyes and settle in, for the journey is about to begin. The rain fell softly in the hidden valley of Kalpanon, each droplet like a whispered lullaby that blended with the rhythmic hum of the wind through the ancient trees. The valley's beauty, timeless and otherworldly, radiated peaceful energy, and yet it held within it a deep and ancient power. This was the land of forgotten dreams, where the echoes of lost hopes lingered like mist over the silvered hills. Zarvi sat quietly by a stream that wound through the valley like a shining thread, her dark cloak soaked but unbothered by the rain. Her glowing satchel, ever close by, rested against the mossy earth, pulsing gently with the light of the dream vials within. Each vial contained the essence of dreams, distilled from her craft, ready to be given back to those who had lost them. She was not a stranger to this valley. No, Zarvi had come here to heal, to regain her strength after her battle with Maya, the dream wraith of illusion, in the sleepy village of Tagadur. That battle had left her weary, her powers stretched thin. But the valley, this sacred place where forgotten dreams slumbered, would restore her. Beside her, Lumi, her faithful companion, hovered in the rain, his tiny firefly wings shimmering like drops of molten gold. His light had dimmed to a soft glow, the kind that radiated warmth in the chill air. Uziphir, the majestic phoenix she rode, roosted nearby, his Martian red and moondust silver feathers catching the light as he preened in the rain. His glowing feathers reflected in the puddles around him, casting ripples of color across the ground. He was a creature of fire and dreams, created by Magister Lucian as a gift for Zharvee. He had woven Uziphir's body from fire of the belly, stardust, and the glowing feathers of the moon, crafting the phoenix to be a guardian and a guide for Zharvee on her journeys across realms. Zharvee closed her eyes, inhaling the scent of rain-soaked earth and damp leaves. She was resting now, but she was never idle. In this place where dreams lived and breathed, her work continued. The firefly's tiny wings began to hum, a sound so soft at first it blended with the falling rain. But as Lumi's song grew, the air around them seemed to change. Zharvee opened her eyes, watching as Lumi floated higher, his light intensifying, growing in strength. His song was a melody of light, ancient and filled with magic. The hum stirred something deep within Zharvee, a memory of her power. She lifted her hand, feeling the pull of the dream loom, the ancient loom woven from the bark of the first dream tree. Though the loom itself was far from here, hidden away in the misty glen, Zharvee's connection to it transcended space. The air around her shimmered as invisible threads began to form between her fingers. threads made of the very essence of forgotten dreams. Zarvi moved her hands through the air, pulling and weaving these threads, creating a tapestry of light and color. Each thread was a dream once forgotten, now being rewoven into something new. The dreams she touched now were of hope, loss, and love, their delicate energies coming together under her careful guidance. As the tapestry grew, it shimmered with the glow of stars, galaxies, and distant worlds, all the places dreams traveled before they reached the minds of the sleeping. The dream grew vivid, the threads thickening into a shimmering fabric. And then, as if the dream knew it was time to return, it began to condense, folding itself into a small vial that rested on Zarvi's palm. She smiled, breathing out a soft sigh of satisfaction. In that moment, she felt the power of the valley flow through her, like the water of the streams running beneath her feet. She corked the vial and placed it into her glowing satchel, the essence of the dream now ready to be returned to its dreamer. Tucked away in the heart of the woods, Zharvee had built herself a small cottage. It was no ordinary dwelling. Its walls were made of pale, glowing wood from the trees of Kalpanon, and the windows shimmered with the faint light of the dreams that filled her vials. The roof was covered in moss that glowed softly at night, like the light of distant stars. Surrounding the cottage was a garden where flowers of every color and hue bloomed, their petals glowing faintly in the rain. The garden was ethereal, filled with plants that only existed in the realm of dreams. Soft, luminous petals brushed against her as she walked through the narrow path, and the gentle hum of life surrounded her, creating an atmosphere of peace. A small stream flowed nearby, its waters glittering with the reflections of stars, even in the dim light of the woods. Inside the cottage, Zarvi had built her Dream Pedlar's stall. It was a simple wooden counter, but its surface was carved with intricate symbols, patterns that told the story of dreams and those who had lost them. Behind the counter, shelves lined the walls, each filled with vials of dreams she had woven, their lights pulsing softly like fireflies in the dark. Here, in the quiet of her cottage, Zharvee glimpsed the forgotten dreams of those she had encountered. She could feel their faint echoes, see flashes of the lives they once belonged to. A child chasing fireflies in a meadow, a sailor lost at sea, a mother's gentle smile as she rocked her baby to sleep. These dreams, once vibrant, had faded from memory, but Zharvee would return them. She ran her fingers along the shelves, her mind tracing the stories each vial held. As she touched one, a soft vision appeared before her, of a forgotten childhood wish, of a promise made under the stars. The dream flickered before her, a fragile thing, but Zharvee knew that once returned it would burn brightly in the dreamer's heart. As Zarvi rested beneath the glowing canopy of the valley's trees, she felt a gentle pull, a forgotten dream stirring from within her satchel. It was one of the dreams she had collected during her travels, long ago, but it had not yet found its way back to its owner. She uncorked the vial, allowing the dream to spill out like a soft mist. The dream took shape before her eyes, a vision of a long-forgotten love. It showed two figures standing in a garden of wildflowers, their hands intertwined, their faces radiant with joy. But the dream faltered, flickering with the sadness of being lost for so long. Zarvi felt a deep ache in her chest as the dream faded. It was a dream of longing, of something precious that had been lost in the wake of time. But now it had a chance to return. With a soft whisper, Zarvi sent the dream into the night air, watching as it floated away, carried by the wind. It would find its way back to its dreamer, bringing with it the hope and love that had once been forgotten. She watched the dream drift away until it disappeared into the distance, and then she smiled. This was her purpose, to return these forgotten dreams to those who had lost them, to remind them that hope was never truly gone. But the valley held many more forgotten dreams, waiting patiently for their turn to be remembered. Zharvee felt another soft tug from her satchel, this time from a vial glowing with a faint blue light. She carefully uncorked it, and the mist within unfurled, revealing a dream that had been waiting for many years to return. The dream took the form of a child, standing at the edge of a vast and endless ocean. The waves crashed gently against the shore, the child's wide eyes filled with wonder and awe. But behind that wonder lay a sadness, a longing for a journey that had never begun, for an adventure that had remained unfulfilled. Zarvi could feel the weight of the dream, the unspoken desire for exploration that had been left behind in the dreamer's heart. She gently wove her hands through the mist, pulling the threads of the dream together, breathing new life into it. The colors of the ocean deepened, the waves grew stronger, and the child's face lit with the anticipation of what was to come. The dream pulsed with renewed energy, filled with the promise of the adventure that had once been forgotten. As Zarvi sent the dream back into the night air, she knew it would return to its dreamer, filling them with the courage and joy to set forth on the journey they had once longed for. The dream floated away, and a peaceful calm settled over the valley. But still, more dreams waited to be restored. Zarvi reached for another vial, this one with a soft, warm glow. She uncorked it, and the mist inside drifted out slowly, forming the tender image of an elderly woman sitting by a window, her hands gently knitting in the moonlight. The woman's eyes were filled with quiet hope, her fingers moving steadily as she worked. The dream was gentle, filled with warmth and patience, yet there was a deep longing in the woman's heart. She was waiting for a loved one who had been gone for far too long. Time had passed, and the dream had faded. The reunion she had hoped for lost to the years. Zarvi's heart ached with the delicate tenderness of the dream, and with careful hands she began to weave it back together. The threads of patience, hope, and love intertwined under her touch, and the dream glowed more brightly, filled once again with the promise of reunion. As the dream completed itself, it shone with a new warmth, ready to return to the dreamer and bring them the peace and joy they had been waiting for. The mist drifted away, carrying the dream of reunion into the night, and Zarvi breathed deeply, knowing the dreamer would once again feel the comfort of their long-awaited embrace. Yet the night wasn't over, and another dream stirred, this time filled with a bright and playful energy. Zarvi smiled as she uncorked the next vial, and the mist within burst forth in vibrant, swirling colors. It was the dream of a young boy, running through a golden field of sunflowers, his laughter echoing through the air. He held a colorful kite, its tail dancing in the breeze as he chased it joyfully across the field. The dream was alive with pure joy and innocence, but as the boy ran, the kite slipped from his grasp, rising too high into the sky. His laughter turned to a quiet sadness as the kite floated further and further away, until the dream itself began to fade. Zarvi's heart warmed at the simplicity and beauty of the dream, and she reached out, her hands weaving the threads of light and color back together. She restored the joy, the playful energy, and the freedom of the boy's laughter, returning the kite to his hands, letting it soar freely once more in the bright blue sky. The boy's face lit up with happiness, and the dream radiated with the carefree spirit of childhood. As Zarvi released the dream into the air, it fluttered like the kite itself, carried on the wind toward the dreamer, bringing back with it the forgotten joy of a simpler time. The colors lingered in the air long after the dream had drifted away, like the echoes of a distant song. The valley now shimmered with the glow of restored dreams, each one finding its way back to the hearts of those who had lost them. Zarvi looked at her satchel, feeling the lightness within it, and she smiled. Her work for the night was nearly complete, and soon more dreams would be ready to find their way home. As the night began to fade and the first light of dawn touched the valley, the rain finally ceased, leaving the air fresh and cool. Zarvi stood, her body refreshed and her spirit renewed. The valley had given her the strength she needed, and she had returned something precious in return, the forgotten dreams of Kalpanon. Lumi hummed softly beside her, his light flickering gently in the dawn's glow. Uziphir stretched his mighty wings, ready for the next leg of their journey. Zharvee knew her work here was done for now. She had rested, healed, and replenished her vials. But there were still dreams to be returned, still people waiting for the hope they had lost. With her satchel glowing at her side, she mounted Uziphir, his Martian red and moondust silver feathers gleaming in the morning light. As they soared into the sky, the valley below shimmered with the soft glow of forgotten dreams, waiting patiently to be remembered. Zarvi smiled, her heart light as they flew toward the horizon. She knew deep in her soul that the world was filled with wonder, and it was her mission to bring that wonder back to those who needed it most. Good night, dear dreamer. May your sleep be filled with the forgotten dreams now remembered, and may hope carry you through the stars of your slumber.